Alright, so I'm on my way to pick up the rental car. I have no idea what I'm gonna get.
Yeah, you heard that right. Much like my hotel room, the car rental place told me that they had a car perfect for one person without letting me choose what kind of car. They also told me that they had a fleet of 5 cars total. That means either you get a car or you don't. I kinda already had an idea what my rental car might be, and I wasn't wrong.
A Toyota Corolla? I'm not even surprised. Yeah, after all, this is the car rental agency picked for me. Yeah, they think this is a car that will be good for me for my trip to Masset. Yeah, but anyways, we have already reached our first stop, and it's called the Balancing Rock.
Apparently no one knows where this rock came from or how it got there. Today it's on the must-visit list for most travelers to Haida Gwaii. Many yoga practitioners even host yoga retreats here because the rock is a symbol of balance. Unfortunately, I'm not a yoga practitioner, so I did the thing that 99% of tourists who are not yoga practitioners did, trying to topple the rock. Of course, like 100% of the people tried, the rock stood still. The rock itself is, well, just a rock. However, around the balance rock, you'll find small tidal pools that were way more interesting than the rock itself. Continuing our journey northbound on Graham Island, a sign pointed me to a rest area. I gotta say, I made the right decision.
Yeah, this gotta be the most scenic rest area I've ever seen. It's almost like a fantastic campsite, except the signs clearly mark that no camping or overnight parking. Oh, that's very sad. But anyways, if you have done camping before, you know that after darkness, it's all the same anyways. Yeah, so to enjoy the beautiful scenery, you still probably have to come during the day, which in return, you don't really have to stay overnight or camp. I think I see the BC ferries in the distance, so I think that's the service to Prince Rupert. We pretty much left the Scenic at the same time. Now I am here, they're over there too, but I think it's gonna be a last time I see that specific ferry because it's just drifting towards the BC mainland. Whereas for me, I'm going to the other side of Haida Gwaii.
It was a really nice rest area, but there was something else I gotta do. It's not about chasing the BC ferries. Like I said, that was probably the last time I saw it. However, it has something to do with another ship.
Alright, so I'm right now at the Naikoon Provincial Park. There is a trail that goes to Shipwreck, somewhere along the beach. It takes about 5 kilometers one way and 10 kilometers return. I'm right now at the entrance, so behind me there is an anchor. So I'm not sure if this anchor is actually from the actual ship, but hey, guess what? You're in bear country. Yeah, so if you're in bear country, I guess the same protocol applies. The best way to avoid bear encounter in the wild is filming a video or singing out loud or just talking to yourself. Anyways, I would have been talking to myself, but now I can just pretend I'm a vlogger making videos. Wait, are you saying I'm actually a vlogger? Well, if that's the case, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Yeah, I have to say the surrounding is a perfect example of the West Coast rainforest. I mean, it's a temperate rainforest, so it's kind of different from the rainforest in the Amazon. You know, the funny thing is, so yesterday I was chatting with Marie, if you remember her from the episode where we went to Max's restaurant and tried out the Halo Halo and the Max's fried chicken. Yeah, she was trying to convince me that Haida Gwaii is a different world. I mean, that's what I thought about Haida Gwaii before I came here. But now, after I'm here, based on what I've seen so far, it's just a typical Pacific West Coast in North America. Yeah, like the Queen Charlotte area definitely reminds me of the Port Hardy, Port McNeil, Port Hardy, Alert Bay region, which probably saw in some of the previous episodes. And by the way, I'm just talking about the landscapes. I'm not talking about the cultural aspects of Haida Gwaii. Yeah, this Haida culture is just amazing. If you've been to the Haida Cultural Museum, you know what I'm talking about. And that's the Telau River down the cliff. Well, I can hear water now. I'm not sure if this is a good sign, because that means there might be bears nearby. You know, we're so close to the ocean and we're closer to the mouth of the creek. That means there gotta be a lot of fish here, and well, if there's fish, there are bears. Yeah, but for some reason, this creek looks really bad, almost like it's polluted. I'm not sure how it happened. If any of you geologists here, yeah, let me know why the color of this creek appear to be dark red, and why this part is so foamy.
I got closer to where the creek met the Telau River. I was afraid that there would be bears. Through the gaps between the trees, I was able to see exactly what was down there.
Yeah, and I was worrying about bears. They're like fishers literally right across the riverbank. Oh well, turns out those fishers I saw are literally just right across from me. I thought this was just a pure wilderness trail, and turns out there are actually big settlements right across the bank. If I knew there were settlements over there, probably I would just park my car, and you know, the water is kind of shallow. I could have just walked across the river. Yeah, but I can tell it's pretty flat ahead, so I'm not too worried. I'll just take a stroll along the riverbank all the way to the shipwreck. I just passed by 2 hikers on the way back, and they told me I'm not even halfway yet. But you know, when the trail is kind of jungle-y, 2 kilometers there is very different from 2 kilometers on a flat surface. Holy shit, what is this? Alright, we're crossing the creek now. So for those of you who plan to come to the shipwreck in the future, the creek marks the halfway between the parking lot and the shipwreck. But I think this half of the hike will be a lot easier because it's mostly flat. This is actually really interesting. There are actually people living inside the provincial park, and as you can see, the canoe is tied to a log behind there, and behind the log, that's two log cabins. And there are a lot of logs. Yeah, but those log cabins were beautifully built, so I'm not sure if those are cultural houses, tourist accommodations, or actually somebody live inside this beautiful park by the river. But I can't imagine how to get anything you have to walk all the way, that way and flip that little hill just to reach a parking lot. I'm pretty sure there are ways, the locals, by saying locals, I'm pretty much talking about whoever living in the log cabin. There gotta be ways for them to access all the services and shops. Yeah, you can see the trees are a lot shorter here. That means we're very close to the open ocean, which means, well, there will be strong winds. And if there are strong winds, tall trees are not gonna survive.
Still, you see how resilient the nature is. You'll find new trees growing on top of dead trunks. It's amazing, isn't it? Trees began to disappear as I approached the mouth of the Talau River. There, I could see a rather unusual sight. But at the same time, it was also where I wanted to go.
Well, we're already on a sandy beach. Welcome to California, guys. Oh my gosh, this beach is soft. Yeah, check this out. I don't remember when was the last time I saw a beach with fine sand like this. Well, definitely not in Vancouver, or well, not even in parts of Mexico I've been to on the Pacific coast that has this kind of sandy beach. I'm really impressed. Well, too bad Haida Gwaii is way over the 50th parallel, so the water temperature can't really be that warm. So a beach vacation here, I would probably pass it. And even right now, it's only 17 degrees, so I don't think I would wear a bikini. I don't think I would wear any swimwear either. But there are people wearing, on the other side of the bank, wearing swimsuits. Yeah, for me, I'll probably reserve it for tropical destinations.
Finally, after a 10-kilometer walk, I have reached the shipwreck of Pesuta. Unlike SS Ethica we saw in Churchill, Manitoba, Pesuta doesn't really have a legendary life story. It was a wooden steamship built during World War I, the age when steel ships made wooden ships pretty much obsolete in undertaking commercial shipping. After in service for about a decade, eventually in 1928, the aging Pesuta was damaged by gale force wind in the Haida Gwaii region. However, this might be one of the most accessible shipwrecks to ordinary tourists like you and I. Nearly 100 years later, you are still able to see the remnant of a wooden ship.
These are probably the remnants of the same ship.
Remember what the Haidas and other coastal indigenous people believe? Nothing lasts forever. Pesuta itself is like a totem pole from a bygone era that will be washed away by time. Eventually, it's going back to Earth. For those of you who are more adventurous, you can hike past Pesuta Shipwreck and walk another 80 kilometers or so to Rose Spit, the northern eastern tip of Graham Island and a place where it is associated with the Haida culture's creation theory, which we will be talking about when we visit the Rose Spit area later in another episode. After spending some time with the shipwreck, it was time to return to the parking lot and continue our Graham Island adventure northbound. Something unusual caught my attention. I wasn't sure what that was, but the trail looked kinda different. I didn't realize how serious it was once I started to notice that the journey back will be a lot more different than the way in.
Yeah, folks, I've encountered some situation here. Remember the creek where you see the mark halfway? Yeah, unfortunately, while I was heading towards the shipwreck, you see the creek is now completely flooded. Actually, the whole area, the whole river has been completely flooded. So I guess for now, if you remember the hill, it's actually on the other side of the real creek. So I'm just gonna take off my shoes and cross it with my bare feet. There we go, Sayu Rinpoche's adventure in Haida Gwaii. Now I've made part 1, so I guess I'll have to do the part 2 until I reach that little ramp where I can get up the hill. See, this part, this is the trail where I came from. But it's perfect timing for fishing though. Yeah, there we go, we're almost there, but the flood here looks absolutely bad. But the scenery is pretty good though after it floods, I have to admit. Yeah, the river down below is completely flooded, so there are 2 other people who are trying to get back to the parking lot, and we have climbed up to the hill. So we'll see if this will lead us back to the parking lot. Fingers crossed. I have no idea what's bubbling over there. Oh no! We have reached the land's end, and that's a little river over there. Hey, look what we got. I'll go this way. Oh my gosh, that's the trail back to the parking lot. Ooh, okay, that's something that I did not expect at all. Now it's just a little hill where we came from, and then yeah, we don't have to worry about high tide again, and I guess I'll see you back at the car.
Later, I learned that the trail to Pesuta Shipwreck experiences high tide every day in the early afternoon. I did not know this. If you're watching and want to see the shipwreck yourself, please bear this in mind so you don't get into the same situation I encountered. Our adventure in Haida Gwaii continues as we head further north on Graham Island. What's gonna happen next? Follow me to the next episode.